Welcome, everyone, to What to Watch Live, the show where we discuss the best in TV and entertainment this week. My name is David, and today I'm joined by my fellow Xfinity editors, Kayla and Kwam. How is everyone doing today?
Doing well, David.
Good.
Yes. How are you?
Should have nicked... I'm good. I want to nickname this show The Gun Show because look at those guns, Kwam. Oh my goodness.
Oh. Well, you know, the sun's out, so had to bring out the gun show. It was only right.
I appreciate it.
It's summertime. You doing, Kayla? Go for it. I'm doing well.
Good. It's a little hot out, but we're inside and we're ready for an amazing show. We actually have a very star-studded show for you today, including appearances by the stars of HBO Max's new movie, No Sudden Move. We've got Don Cheadle, Benicio del Toro, David Harbour, and Frankie Shaw. And we also have an interview with the cast of Freeform's The Bold Type, Katie Stevens, Aisha Dee, and Megan Fahey. So it's going to be a ton of fun. Thank you for joining us. And without further ado, let's kick things off with In the News. Last week, Billboard released its annual Songs of the Summer chart, listing the top 20 songs fueling our cookouts, beach parties, and firefly-filled nights. The top 5 includes Kiss Me More by Doja Cat, Peaches by Justin Bieber, Levitating by Dua Lipa, Good For You by Olivia Rodrigo, and Butter by BTS at number 1. For first reactions to this list, we have to turn to our very own music editor, Kwam. Kwam, what do you think of this list?
So I think it's a okay, not great list. For one, how can you not have Leave the Door Open by Silk Sonic not in the top 5, especially not the top 3? Also, you know what I'm saying? That's like a quintessential summer song. It's so smooth, and the fact that it's been excluded from the top 5 just brings this list down a few points. Secondly, BTS being number 1, I gotta dock some points for that too. Admittedly, I am not the biggest BTS fan. I'm not the biggest K-pop fan, but it's just too generic. BTS is like a lab creation, like the Powerpuff Girls, where they put in the best top 40 songs, most clean cut, cookie cutter, generic top 40 songs, and came out with BTS, and Butter is their creme de la creme of genericness. And so it is not my favorite song. Definitely doesn't deserve the top spot in my own opinion. But let me open up to y'all. How do y'all feel?
I feel the same way. I'm docking a lot of points for that BTS being at the top. I think one, and I haven't heard all of the songs on the list, but I love Levitating with Dua Lipa and DaBaby. That's my jam. That's my jam right now. Mm-hmm. So I am loving that. Not saying it needs to be number 1, but I do like that song. But Butter, no. And Leave the Door Open, yes. Definitely should be up there. At least 1 or 2.
Yeah. Leave the Door Open is one of... Yeah. Leave the Door Open is one of my favorites right now. I'm also just like, I have Dua Lipa's Future Nostalgia on replay these days. As well as Olivia Rodrigo. Kwam and I have had discussions about Olivia Rodrigo in the past. She's actually on the list 4 times. The full list is 20 titles. She's got Good For You, Deja Vu, Driver's License, and Traitor, all on the top 20. So a little bit surprising. Like, I think you probably could have thrown a couple other worthy artists on that list and not given so many. I mean, Driver's License isn't the song of the summer. It was like the song of the spring and maybe the winter. And same with The Weeknd's Blinding Lights. That was the theme to WrestleMania last April. So, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me.
It just goes to show how great of a song Blinding Lights is. But what I find really interesting is how a lot of these songs are being driven by TikTok and songs being just becoming viral. So I think that's why you see so much of Olivia Rodrigo on this list. But I do agree with you. Definitely could have took some of her songs out and put some other people's songs in.
What were so I was thinking a lot about a few of the songs that really send me back to summer, like past summer jams. I wonder if either of you have any that like really stick out to you.
I do. Mine, well, the one that has the most hard stamped memory in my mind is In My Feelings, that came out in 2018 with Drake. That, when I tell you guys, I'm still not tired of it. That's my summer song. Okay, I don't want to hear anything about it. I have a bunch of like 90s and 2000s as well, but that one holds a special place for sure.
I won't argue with that.
I'm not even mad. That was like my second choice.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. The only song that I think about summer more than In My Feelings, and maybe this is recency bias, but it's Unforgettable by French Montana and Sway Lee. That song has a special place in my heart just because it was so lit for that summer, and you could not escape that song no matter how hard you tried. And you didn't want to because it was a bop. Still to this day, it's still a bop.
That needs to be on like next year's Hot 100 because they're using Blinding Lights.
Well, as the old man among the three of us, I'm really gonna throw it back. I couldn't just pick just one. So I've got a whole list of songs that like bring me straight back to summertime, remembering like being off school, hearing these songs. I was saying to Kwam earlier, you actually used to request songs by calling in the radio on your like rotary phone and being like, hey, could I request The Sign by Ace of Base? And they'd be like, are you sure? And I'd be like, yes, please, Ace of Base. So that's one of them, The Sign by Ace of Base. Waterfalls by TLC. Yes. Don't Take It Personal by Monica. Always Love Be It. My Baby by Mariah Carey. If I Had Your Love by Jennifer Lopez. Return of the Mac by Mark Morrison. What happened to that guy? And Kiss from a Rose by Seal, which was on the Batman Forever soundtrack. Huge summer movie that actually opened this month in 1995. So like a lot of those still hold up. And of course, Summertime by Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff. Like you just can't feel summer.
Yeah. Of course.
So that's
very true.
Those are my summer jams.
I love that list.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kayla.
No, I was just agreeing. That was an amazing list. I loved it.
Definitely an amazing list. And I was almost really happy that we made it through an entire list without mentioning Summertime, because it is such a quintessential summer song that it's kind of cheating at this point. It's a little cliche, but no worries. You saved it for the last, and you had a really great list, David.
Thank you. And actually, if you want to see a list that's personally curated and not a or perhaps you'll see some quintessential songs, but you'll really get the best of the best because, Kwam, you've actually put together a collection of music perfectly curated for the summer. Can you tell us a little about that?
Of course. Yes, the Ultimate Summer Soundtrack. So if you like any of these songs that we mentioned or more songs, you're going to want to check out the Ultimate Summer Soundtrack, where we have all your summer music needs. Whether it's tunes for your family beach trip or a playlist for your next summer rager, the Ultimate Summer Soundtrack will have everything you need. So definitely check it out just by saying Ultimate Summer Soundtrack into your Xfinity voice remote.
There it is. And while you dive into that, we're going to dive into our next segment called Editor Extras. This Friday, July 1st, HBO Max drops its latest blockbuster movie entitled No Sudden Move. Directed by Steven Soderbergh, the movie stars Don Cheadle, Benicio del Toro, and Kieran Culkin as small-time criminals who are hired to steal a top-secret document. But after their encounter with a hapless family man played by Stranger Things' David Harbour, the heist falls apart and they're all left to pick up the pieces. Let's take a quick look at No Sudden Move.
So what's the score?
We're sending a man that works in an office to pick something up.
You are part of a babysitting team watching his family while he does it.
Good morning. Everything is normal, except...
What do you want?
Is that something you'd say? Normal Monday?
I'm gonna shoot you right now.
Can I go home now?
Wait at the house after.
What do you mean after?
Right off of your
What is going on?
What's going on, big guy?
Yeah, what are we doing?
We're following instructions. Are you helping me or are you not helping me?
No.
So in anticipation of this movie, I was lucky enough to actually sit down with Don, Benicio, David, and actress Frankie Shaw for an interview, and here's what happened. So No Sudden Move is part Odd Couple story, part heist movie, part gangster flick. Don, what sets this film apart from others in that crime genre?
Well, I think in the best way, it's a tip of the hat to that genre and all the great films that come out of that era. But it's also, like Steven talks about it, great to have the modern techniques to be able to do things that you couldn't do, like Steven said, like get 6 feet closer to someone with a camera that was the size of a Buick. So to be able to have that kind of an idea about these kinds of set pieces that populate these kinds of movies, but to be in it with people like Benicio and people like David Harbour and Amy Simons and all of the other people that round out this cast, just made it a very enjoyable experience, and to see it all put together at the end, because we're all in our sort of disparate storylines, was really fun.
And one of the things I love about the film is that it's grounded in some actual history and reality. Benicio, could you tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, it does deal with issues that are aside from the crime genre and thriller of it all, that the movie is really built for. There are elements of things that are socially conscious, and that deal with stuff that we're dealing with today. And even though the movie takes place 70 some years or before, we're still dealing with some of those issues that were there then and they're here now. So the movie has these sprinkled through it, especially through Don's character. You get to learn and something about the times that also makes you think it's not that different from today.
I really, really loved this movie. It was a great ride. And David, your character, Matt, gives me like Jerry Lundegaard in Fargo vibes a little bit. Someone who's fallen into a world where he's in way over his head. And I wonder, did you happen to make that connection as well, or was it just me?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of examples of that. That's a great one, obviously a very big one. But there's a lot of examples of this guy who's sort of this everyman at the center of something that gets much bigger. But he really is this everyman, ordinary person, almost a blank slate that you can project onto. And then he gets wrapped up. The great thing about him is, to a certain degree, like Jerry, it's like he starts to unravel, and you start to realize that he's capable of things that he himself didn't even know he was capable of. And some of those things are quite thrilling and terrifying. But in a way, the events that happen, they both, are terrifying to him, but they're also liberating. Like, it allows him to see a different color of himself. And actually it makes the turn then at the end of the choices that he hasn't made with his life all the more tragic.
Frankie, what do you think Paula sees in this guy? Because Paula appears to be very strong-willed and have big dreams, and Matt really isn't any of those things.
I don't know. I think that she must think that there's potential there, and with her molding, he can become the man she knows that she sees in her head.
So that was so much fun. Don and Benicio and David and Frankie. One thing I kept thinking about with Don Cheadle is when I hear his last name, I think about the fact that the dust on Cheetos is actually called Cheadle. Did you guys know that?
No.
It's an actual name. Like the dust. Like if you say, "Oh, I've got some Cheetle on my fingers," or "Oh, you've got all this Cheetle left over on your shirt." And if I had to do it all over again, I wish I could go back and have one question and ask Don Cheadle about Cheetle. Is that your daughter laughing too? I love that, Kayla.
Yes, she is laughing.
She loves Cheetle.
She loves
Cheetle.
I'm never going to be able to say his name the same again now.
No. So
Don
the movie
Cheadle
is really great. It's set in the 1950s. It also stars Ray Liotta, Brendan Fraser, John Hamm, and Julia Fox. It's got a ton of twists and turns. If you like heist movies, if you like gangster movies, if you like movies like Fargo or The Big Lebowski or No Country for Old Men, you should check out No Sudden Move on HBO Max starting July 1st. And you can watch my full interview with these stars by checking out the What to Watch Live playlist on Xfinity's YouTube channel. Okay, let's move on to TV confessions. Our celebration of summer continues with another awesome collection curated by our very own Black Experience editor, Kayla. Kayla, tell us a little bit more about the Throwback Summer Collection.
Yes, thanks, David. I am so excited for this collection. Starting on July 5th, we are launching our Throwback Summer Stunt in Black Experience, and it'll have all of your favorites from the 70s through the 2000s. We're talking movies, shows, music, events, like news events that were happening during that time period. Anything you can think of, everything's going to be in there, broken out by each decade. So if you're a 90s baby like me, you're going to go into that 90s. If you are an old soul, like me, you're going to go into the 70s and the 80s and enjoy all of that amazing stuff. 2010s is not in this collection because I do not consider that throwback. We're only in 2021. So 2000s is it. That's where we're cutting it off.
I love it. Yeah. And I consider myself an oldie, an 80s baby, I guess is what you'll call me. But you've got 80s in there, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
All the great 80s stuff.
So as I was looking through this, I realized that there's so much great stuff in here, but I haven't seen everything. I don't know if you all have seen everything in there.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, David, if there was something that, would be in here that you have not seen that you want to confess to.
Well, that is the name of the segment, TV Confessions. Mm-hmm. It's like you read my mind. So I consider myself a movie buff, as absolutely obnoxious as I think that phrase is. But my TV confession is that I've never seen Purple Rain. So I was never much of a Prince fan, aside from liking the music he made for Michael Keaton's Batman movie in 1989, which is like an all-time great movie soundtrack. But all that really changed when I saw Prince perform Purple Rain in 2007. Like, that was a game changer in the sense that few people, aside from probably Beyonce, I've never seen a performance at a Super Bowl like that. And it was so epic that I really wanted to get more into Prince's music. So I started exploring, some of his various albums, including Purple Rain. Now Kiss is one of my go-to karaoke songs. And even though I've listened to the soundtrack for Purple Rain a million times, I've never got around to actually watching the movie. So when I saw it in your collection, Kayla, I realized I have to finally take that leap.
Yeah, you do. And it's funny because I actually have not seen it either, but I feel like I've seen it. But I haven't actually sat down and seen it. So I can't even throw shade or anything because I'm in the same boat.
I've never seen it either.
Oh man.
I think we're doing Prince a disservice.
You made a good point though, Kayla. It's like, I feel like I've seen the movie by listening to the music, and I'm like, what happens in this movie that I don't already know? But that's silly because it's a movie, so I'm sure there's something.
Right.
Kwam, what is your TV confession?
Okay, so my TV confession is that I've never seen, and don't kill me for this, y'all, Nutty Professor. Yeah. I've heard the references so many times. People talk about it all the time, and I saw on the list, and I was like, I've never seen the Nutty Professor. Is something wrong with me? And so, please, no shame, Kayla. Don't start throwing shade now. But yes, that is my confessions.
Oh,
Kwam, when you think about the great movies in history, you think Casablanca, you think Gone with the Wind, Citizen Kane, and The Nutty Professor. 4 of the all-time greats.
Oh, clearly. My goodness. I won't tell Eddie. I won't tell him. It's okay.
No.
It's really okay.
Please don't.
That is surprising, though. That was another, I think that was a big summer movie at one point, too.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a big blockbuster hit.
I mean, who among us hasn't done or heard the Hercules?
Right. It's okay, Kwame.
See,
it's okay.
People make these references. I don't even get it. And I feel so left out. So I think, Taylor, I'm going to change this. I'm gonna go to you. I'm gonna go to the experience. And I'm gonna have to change it now.
Yes.
Good.
Please. Let's.
Well, that leaves us with one person we need to get the confession from.
Yeah, it does. I am really sad to say, and I feel like I've seen this movie, but I have not set it off. Guys, I have not.
Oh my God!
Oh wow!
Yeah. Okay, let's take a beat. Okay, because hold on, it came out when I was a kid, so give me 18 years to grow up. Okay, and then it was like, wait, I'm seeing all the memes and I'm seeing all of the clips, and like I know what happens, so I feel like I've seen it, but I've never sat down and just watched it from beginning to end. I knew who's in it, I know the plot, you know all that stuff, but I haven't sat down and watched it, and I'm going to change that. That's my to-do for the summer, is to finally watch this movie.
Got 3 months. You can do it.
Right. I feel terrible. I feel so bad. Please don't tell the queen. Don't tell Jada. Don't tell anybody. Please.
Oh, man. That cast, though, iconic 90s, stars.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
That's a great
one. I know.
Well, you can check out Kayla's entire collection and find some of those that you would confess. Find something you haven't seen. There's plenty in there, or revisit an old favorite. Watch The Nutty Professor. Watch Set It Off. Dive into Purple Rain. And you can do all of that by saying Black Experience into your voice remote. Let's move on to our next segment. Is it deja vu? No, it's just another dose of editor extras. Tomorrow night, the popular freeform dramedy The Bold Type comes to an end after 5 seasons. Kayla, tell us a little bit more about this bittersweet farewell.
It is definitely bittersweet. I've been following The Bold Type for a long time, and to know that it's already been 5 seasons is very surprising. And it was actually one of the few shows that came out with a new season in 2020. So that really makes it stand out. I got to sit down with the 3 ladies of the show, and they were just so sweet. Let's take a look at the interview.
We're living in a time of reboots, and I want to know, if it's 10 and 15 years down the line, would you guys want to see The Bold Type rebooted, or would you just want to keep the magic of the classic?
I would want to keep the magic of the classic. I would get I don't know. I feel like I feel so I guess protective over what we've created, but if it's I would not want to see somebody play Jane Catton Sutton. If it was a reboot where it was a new generation of women coming in, I would be cool with that, but if there's to be a reboot or something, I would like it to be a movie where we get to play together again.
I agree. I'm part of the cast. I agree. I think that we should keep the magic of the classic.
Which, just by the way, we don't have control over that either. The people that own IP are gonna do what they're gonna do. We're just with it.
Listen, we can be loud on social media, okay? Bring out our inner cats.
Yeah, guys. So that was part of my interview. I'll toss it back to David.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm taking over your host role.
No. And there's so much more that you got to talk to them about during this interview. And you can watch Kayla's full interview with the stars of The Bold Type again by visiting the What to Watch Live playlist on Xfinity's YouTube channel. And we have one more thing to do today before we say goodbye for the week. We are going to help you plan ahead. We've got another massive week of TV premieres, and Kayla is here to tell us all about it. Take it away, Kayla.
There's a new boss baby in town. The Templeton brothers, Tim and his boss baby little bro Ted, have become adults and are living their own separate lives estranged from each other. That is, until Tim's baby girl Tina reveals herself as a top secret agent for Baby Corps and needs their help on a top secret mission. Ted and Tim take a magical formula that transforms them into babies for 48 hours. Together, they must now go undercover to prevent an evil genius from turning precious little toddlers into monstrous brats. The term family business just took on a whole new meaning. Boss Baby Family Business premieres July 2nd on Peacock. The Beast Must Die is a highly anticipated 6-part revenge thriller based on the novel by Nicholas Blake. Now, get this. After learning the police investigation into the fatal hit and run of her young son Marty has been dropped, his mother Frances takes matters into her own hands. Posing as a novelist researching a new murder mystery, Frances cultivates a new relationship with the family of George Rattery. The man she suspects is responsible and sets a plan in action to kill him. The Beast Must Die premieres July 5th on AMC+. A new season of Love Island is finally here, y'all. Watch what happens when a brand new batch of Islanders move into a gorgeous villa on the Vegas Strip, all looking to drop their single status for a real romantic connection. Not only do the Islanders need to find their true love, they must also win the hearts of viewers who have the chance to shape events on screen and ultimately crown one lucky couple the winner, who will then have the chance to walk away with both love and the cash prize of $100,000. Love Island premieres on July 7th on CBS. Calling All Monsters, the newest spinoff of Monsters, Inc. is coming to your screens very soon on Disney+. The new spinoff takes place the day after Monsters Incorporated power plant started harvesting the laughter of children to fuel the city of Monstropolis instead of screams. The story follows new kid on the block, Tyler Tuskman, an eager young monster who graduated top of his class at Monsters University and always dreamed of becoming a scarer. After Tyler is temporarily reassigned to Monsters, Inc., he must work alongside a misfit bunch of mechanics while setting his sights on becoming a jokester. One thing's for sure, this one's going to be good. Monsters at Work premieres July 7th on Disney+. Attention Upper East Siders, Gossip Girl is back with a fresh batch of rich and prestigious prep school teens. Fear not, my OG Gossip Girl fans. Although the cast is new, Kristen Bell is here to stay, reprising her iconic role as narrator. Nearly 10 years after the original website went dark, things are starting to rev back up again in the heightened social media age, with the main characters being put under constant social surveillance. Yikes. So many things have changed in the city of New York and high society, and everything's about to get a whole lot more complicated. XOXO. Gossip Girl premieres July 8th on HBO Max. Your Favorite Crew is back for a 4th season. If you're a newcomer, Grownish is a spinoff of ABC's hit sitcom Blackish, starring Yara Shahidi as Zoe Johnson. Now, a lot has happened since Zoe stepped foot on CalU's college campus to start her journey to adulthood. Season 4 picks up in their senior year, and the CalU crew is on summer vacation, living it up in bright neon swimsuits and designer shades, with drinks in hand. What could go wrong, right? Grownish premieres July 8th on Freeform.
This is such a great group of premieres. Just by chance, last night, I watched the first episodes of both the new Gossip Girl reboot and Monsters at Work. And Kayla, I know you are a big Gossip Girl fan, right?
I am. I love Gossip Girl. I was actually going to wear my preppy baby pink blazer, but I opted against it. I should have worn it because I wanted to be a part of the Upper East Side community.
Well, I watched it. I don't actually honestly know if I can talk about it just yet. So I will say that, I'll say that I've never seen a single episode of the original, but after watching one episode, I'm so in for the ride on this one. That's all I'll say. But I can talk about Monsters at Work, and I thought it was very cute. There are a bunch of new characters, including characters voiced by Mindy Kaling and Henry Winkler, and I just love them. And I didn't love Monsters University when it came out, so I'm really excited that this is kind of going back to, like, right, as you said, right after the first movie ends, and we get more Sully, grown-up Sully and Mike and all these other amazing characters. So that's something I'm pretty psyched about. Was there anything?
No, I was gonna say it sounds like
Yeah.
Gossip Girl is another confession of yours that you need to catch up on.
That's never going to happen, but I am going to watch this one for sure. Quan, was there anything in that group of premieres you're looking forward to?
The second half of Netflix's raunchy reality television series, Too Hot to Handle, will drop on June 30th. If you are out of the loop, Too Hot to Handle follows a group of sexy Instagram models who are led into believing that they will be on a conventional Love Island-esque dating show. However, a virtual AI assistant that looks sort of like a lava lamp descends upon this group of overly hot people to inform them that they really are there to form deeper emotional connections and that all sexual activity is banned. If the group can keep it in their pants, they will win a cash prize of $100,000. Can these IG models control their sex drive, or will they give in to their lustful ways? Find out on June 30th. Also on June 30th, the Freeform series, The Bold Type, will be coming to an end. The show centers on a trio of millennial women who are living in New York City and are working for the global women's magazine, Scarlet. The show follows the young women as they navigate their lives in the Big Apple, including their career trajectories, romantic relationships, and coming to terms with their own personal identities. Catch the series finale of The Bold Type on June 30th on Freeform. The docuseries Reunion Road Trip will be coming to a close for its season finale on July 1st on E! The show documents the reunions of several casts from different television shows as they reconnect and reflect on their iconic series that helped shape the television landscape. Watch as the cast members from shows like All My Children and Queer Eye recall some of their most outrageous moments and the memories that they shared together. If you love television, you'll love this walk down memory lane. Don't miss the season finale of Reunion Road Trip on July 1st on E! Emergency Call is set to finale on July 2nd. This reality ABC series follows the extreme, suspenseful, and sometimes humorous stories that flood 911 call centers. With 240 million calls per year, these call takers never know what situation they'll come across. The show is hosted by actor Luke Wilson, and if you're a fan of the 90s series, Rescue 911, then you can't miss the finale of Emergency Call on ABC on July 2nd. The season finale for HBO Max's Generation, or as some of my co-editors like to call it, Generation, is a dramedy series that follows a group of high school students whose exploration of sexuality tests deeply entrenched beliefs about life, love, and the nature of family in their conservative community. This coming-of-age story depicts the life for today's Gen Zers who have to navigate through the social media era while confronting the modern-day struggles. Generation will be finaleing on July 8th on HBO Max. Lastly, but most certainly not least, Starz' Run the World will be airing its season closer on July 11th. Run the World centers around four 30-something-year-old black women who traverse through everyday life as they strive for world domination. Uniquely aware of its place within pop culture, Run the World offers a fresh take on the girl group genre that has been popularized by shows like Sex and the City and Girlfriends. At its core, it's an unapologetically female show about enviable friendship and not only surviving, but thriving together. Catch the season finale of Run the World on July 11th on Starz. Period.
You got this, David.
Yes. So, just as about as just I can't even speak. Just about as what am I trying to say? Just about when
what had happened was.
Yeah, I'm having like a Porky Pig moment here. Kwong was just about ready to give us his TV confession about Gossip Girl, and someone just hit the button and said, no, we can't handle hearing another TV confession.
Clearly, but I was going to say before I was so rudely interrupted is that, David, I'm in the same boat as you. I have never seen the original Gossip Girl, and I was actually looking forward to, seeing the reboot before I was so, again, rudely interrupted. But nonetheless, I'm also excited to see the new Monsters, Inc., Monsters at Work. I was a fan of the original movie, and the fact that this is going to be more like a sequel, like you said, David, I am so for it.
Quick, hit the button. Cut him off. Cut him off.
Cut him off. How about those finales, though, y'all?
Yo, so those finales, are any of you watching Too Hot to Handle?
No, I'm not watching that. Me too.
So they've released 4 episodes. As Kwame, as you mentioned, the second 4 episodes are coming out in the next week. They have lost so much money because these people just cannot keep their hands and other things off of each other. And
I don't understand.
It's just like you could win $100,000. Just
right.
Stop kissing each other. Just stop it.
Just stop it. You would think it'd be also easy, especially because now like it's still COVID, and you would think it'd be so easy not to touch people and stay like 6 feet apart. But I guess not when you're like super sexy. You know, I guess we can't relate. We're not that sexy.
It's $100,000.
I'm not that sexy.
Speak for yourself.
I see Kayla's face. She was like, "Speak for yourself. I am that sexy."
Roasted.
I am dying over here. Oh my god.
So one of the things I love about Too Hot to Handle is, as you mentioned, there's like this Alexa device called Lana that is actually kind of the host of the show and tells people when they've broken rules, etc. And the people on this show don't realize that they're on Too Hot to Handle, but they're all familiar with Too Hot to Handle. So when they reveal Lana, she comes up through the bottom of a table and the dude's like, "Oh my God, are we on Too Hot to Handle?" Like the reveal of it when they realize they're all like there in bikinis and all liquored up, and then they realize they can't touch each other for like 3 weeks. It's
what a tragedy.
So good. It's so good.
Right?
So you have to watch it.
That does sound good.
So one last item for Plan Ahead. This Friday, July 2nd, Netflix has the first of 3 movies based on the popular 90s R.L. Stine book series called Fear Street. The first movie is called Fear Street Part 1, 1994. I have seen it, but again, I can't talk about it or reveal my thoughts because the embargo hasn't lifted yet. However, we'll have the star of Fear Street Part 2, 1978, Sadie Sink, and she will be here on What to Watch Live when we're back in 2 weeks on July 13th. You probably know Sadie as Max Mayfield in Stranger Things. She's very talented, so sweet, and we had a lot of fun talking, so make sure you check that out. And as if that weren't enough, we will have Black Widow herself, Scarlett Johansson, as well as her Black Widow movie co-star, Florence Pugh, here on What to Watch Live the same day on July 13th. Black Widow opens in theaters and on Disney Plus on July 9th, and Scott will sit down with both stars to talk about Marvel's newest blockbuster. So, now that we've done that, I think anyone else have any plugs they want to put out there? You'll be appearing at any comedy
excited for Black
clubs.
Widow, though. I am.
Yeah.
Into it.
You have any new singles dropping you want to put out there?
My EP is dropping next Tuesday.
Finally. Maybe I bet we'll see that on the summer hot list on Billboard.
Yep, you will. I got the baby on it. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Megan Thee Stallion's on there. It's great.
I don't know about that, Kayla.
Well, that will do it for this week's episode. Special thanks to the stars of HBO Max, HBO Max's No Sudden Move and Freeform's The Bold Type for joining us today. And even bigger thanks to my fellow editors, Kayla and Kwam, for all of today's spirited debates. I had so much fun. And if you want to check out the shows we've been talking about today, get more of our entertainment recommendations, or watch us interview more big celebrities, just say What to Watch Live into your voice remote, or tune in here every Tuesday at 4 p.m. for a new episode. Reminder, we are off next week. We'll see you back here again on July 13th. Have a great 4th of July holiday. My name is David. Thank you for joining us on What to Watch Live.